Damn it. All right, well, I guess it doesn't have all the details and stuff. And hold on, I accidentally started one without like anything. So, okay, well, damn it, it zapped my description. It's okay. 1 second. I'll have to edit all this stuff out in the beginning. Hold on 1 second. Damn it. Okay, are people there? All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Router hiccup. And okay. Uh, I don't know where it. This is like a new stream now, so I can't go and pick up. Anyway, what I was mentioning was just stuff from CP Phoenix, but now my mystery is what is this signal? I actually have a pretty good mash of Harrisburg line signals, but I don't know exactly where they would be. They're probably newer than this, so let me just check real quick. Because I only started doing it recently. All right, let me just check my folders. Yeah, it's not this one. This one is the 301W. Oh, I know where I can, because I know what signal that replaced. So 1 second. Bunch of Harrisburg line stuff. More Harrisburg line stuff. Oh no, that is 301W. Damn it. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to have to actually investigate here. So I know where 301W was. 301W was right there-ish, right in there. And I think I know where the other one was. So 301W is about there. There's a TBS there, well, so I just need to... Yeah, it would have been right up in here. Like right there, because that's where the road branches off. So about 1,900 feet. Hold on, let me look at that. I know that this is right near a milepost. Well, that's what, 19. 1 second. Oh, Phoenix. There it is. This is when I went to CP Phoenix. And... I know that there's a milepost right near that one. Oh, there it is. I can't see it, though. Maybe I'm wrong though about where that signal was. Hold on. Yeah, I thought it was right down in there somewhere. 34. What? I can't tell what milepost that is. Oh, here it is. Mile 30.7. So that would be about mile 31. Okay, then you're in pretty much downtown Royersford. So I'm going to call that mile 312 east, going by how they were numbered. On this line, the 01, this is that's the milepost, that's the track, that's the direction. And yeah, so it'd be 312W. Yeah. Okay, whatever. And this got changed about the same time, but still, like I said, those were equilateral turnouts at Phoenix. So this, even though this is like the distant to it, it was not. It didn't need a lower head. So what do I have here? No, I don't need you. There we go. NS Harrisburg line signal. Blah 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 blah. 312E. Yeah, I try to not let myself get away with shortcuts like that. All right, we've jumped ahead to the old Reading Outer Station area. This is CP Center, which is one of the legs of the Y in Reading, Pennsylvania. Let me get my visual up here. So that's where the old Reading Outer Station used to be. I don't know why it was called Outer Station. I guess that's more downtown. And it was a triangular station that would allow trains to serve going to Philly to Harrisburg, Philly to Coal Country, or the occasional Allentown to Harrisburg trains. So they could all meet up here. Eventually, after the station burned down and sort of the route through town is kind of used by kind of like NS Conrail really didn't like using that route through town because it's super, super, super duper slow. But the legs of the wire, CP Walnut, CP Center, and CP Ollie. I always thought it was Olay, but I was corrected by a local. And this, when I visited this first in the 90s, and that was a field. But unfortunately, the Reading Outer Station landmass has been turned into a giant Department of Public Works lot. So for people who are really excited about Reading Outer Station coming back as a station, it's not going to. But at the same point, that location for a station is just not very good compared to what the downtown options are at Franklin Street. By the way, the Franklin Street station is now a brew pub, and it's absolutely fantastic. So if you're in Reading, I highly recommend going to the brew pub that's located in Reading in Franklin Street Station. That station was literally a gutted shell, and now it is back and really nice and perfectly restored inside to its original appearance. So again, I recommend it almost as much as that train-themed bar in Albertus. So this is just a picture of the north leg of the Y and the pole line. Again, I'm going to also complain about, again, my limited amount of photo taking back in 2006. This is all stuff. I also should have come back. I had plenty of time to go and get better photos of center, and I didn't, and I missed it getting resignaled by a hair. There's ample there's like convenient parking there too. That pole line, by the way, was to connect the Ollie tower. There's a video online. If you look like Reading interlocking towers, it was part of Reading's many CTC projects. I have it pulled up here. This is what it was back in the 60s, reduced to, of course, single tracks all over the place. But it was where you had the GRS console type NX machine, and it controlled Walnut Center, Pine, everything in the area was run out of Ollie, and there's like a whole big console thing in there. In fact, there's shot a bunch of, there's a thing on YouTube, a video from Ollie and Valley Junction Tower that was right across the river, right over there. Both of them are still standing to this day. I managed to get into Valley Junction. You'll see those photos appear in a few months. Here we have the signal at Ollie, and I even have the Conrail stuff loaded already. Titus, Crumrue, Walnut Center, YMS. Come on. Damn it. Gotta go to the Ollie 144. 144. That is the 2 center. There it is. That's the 2W-2 signal. Note that they never updated the little interlocking diagram there, that they still have it as a man tower. Of course, because this was part of a CTC project, it was easily to convert it from operation out of the Ollie Tower to operation from Mount Laurel, New Jersey, where the dispatch center eventually went. A lot of the CTC projects seamlessly transition from, some sort of tower control to a remote dispatch operation. OLEY 2W-2. So from a Harrisburg line point of view, this is east-west, if you didn't notice that already. From a Reading point of view, I'm pretty sure this was north-south. Reading was one of the rare north-south railroads, especially in the east. Oh, no, that's wrong. D&H is north-south. I'm being unfair. I'd like to capture this, but I don't really want to. Alright, I'm not going to be able to get that to a square. So here we have our 2 westbound signals, specifically the same 2W-2, but you also sort of see, again, you can see between the Reading diagram, the Reading era diagram, there. This would have been, we would have been standing right there, and then the Conrail diagram, and then again this is sort of reversed though, and then the picture of what's left. This is the type of picture I should have been taking way more of. But I think my photo capacity, I think it was 300. I think my max photo capacity was something on the order of 300. And later, if I had done this later on, this probably would have, all these interlockings in this one day probably would have been like 600 or 700, maybe around 400 to 500 photos. So I should have just taken more, but I also didn't have zoom. That's the problem. I couldn't reach up and really get into this. you're going to start noticing, like I said, you wouldn't want to watch me do this with my current photos. Besides it being a lot of probably dead air, it would be super repetitive. If you've ever looked at my current photo sets, like lower head, rear angle, side angle, front angle. So I'm just starting in terms of me. I mean, 2006 me was just starting to do that. I mean, it's important. It's not a bad thing. It's what I'm complaining that I didn't do enough. But it makes for a very less a way less interesting streaming experience. So just be aware of that. That like I do have a limited supply of these things that would be watchable, but I can find other stuff to do. We'll see how it goes. Notice again the pole line that supported the CTC the whole area interlocking scheme. I believe that I'm not sure if that was still in service right now. It looks like it was. I'm just gonna quick uncrop this. That cabinet would generally not be. Oh, that's not a CP Center cabinet. That's a CP Ollie cabinet. And I mislabeled that other photo. Keep your eyes peeled for when you make a mistake. Here we have the 2W-1, just verifying that. So here we go. I'm sure that it's 2W-1, but this chart, look, they screwed it up. It has both the original, it has the Conrail number, 2W-2. By the way, this 5 switch is removed. But they screwed up and they left in the original when the tower was still, the CTC numbering of 276L. If I go to the Reading diagram here, yeah, there it is. 290R, 276L would have been mounted on that old bracket. So, fascinating. But I'm going to go with a Conrail because I can't reliably tell what the other stuff was. For anyone who's interested, there's always been, at least even through today, there's been a single signaled track through Reading Yard. It's labeled as like the red. It has some weird timetable designation that you wouldn't think that it was a main track, but it is. So it's easy to think that at Belt or here at Ollie that a train is going would just get restrictings. But no, these are actually distance to CP Belt. So you're getting approach medium here, or a medium approach medium at the other signal, and then you diverge it again at CP Belt onto the Reading line there. And this is located just before the bridge. I'm gonna make this a little wider here because I want to capture that whole bridge. Even if I lose a little few pixels in height resolution, because that bridge is interesting. That's this bridge right there. Again, you can just see how much Greenwich Street Bridge. I'm not going to really label it there, but you can just see how much stuff used to be there. So they're the new signals. One switch, and is there a second? I mean, it divides again. It's a Conrail special crossover, but no. All right. Whoa. Something screwed up there. And sort of a rear view. don't have to worry about this one too much. I'm going to capture that there, which I bet is gone now, but looks pretty cool. Oops, I'm still in super high quality here. I need to back off that a little bit. There it goes. I can always look over to see if that pole is actually there. Might be. I can't really tell. Alright, that's the second round. I'll be in to answer questions in just a second. Okay. North 6th Street? What? I'm not sure where North 6th Street Station is unless you mean Franklin Street. Regarding, I think that actually the getting back to Reading is not as bad as you think. There's not a lot of traffic on the Reading line. It is very low traffic density for what, a double track line. I don't, every time I'm out there, I see nothing. And from what I've asked the locals, besides a local freight, there's, I think there's just not a lot running on the line. So I think it's really ripe for a Virginia-style buyout that NS just needs the right amount of money. I'm very surprised that they it's just I think the number of trains, I think there's only six scheduled trains a day on that line. There's whatever runs to Camden that might drop off also in Abrams Yard, so that's just one train. There may or may not be some crude oil, but that's that's sort of hit or miss. There's not a lot of intermodal coming into Philly. I don't think there's almost any intermodal on that line, unless it's a detour or something. So, 6 trains a day for an almost entirely double stack line. That's not a lot compared with 50 trains on the Harrisburg line. Oh, there is an intermodal because you get intermodals coming out of the Morrisville line. So you'll get at least one double stack coming out of Morrisville and probably in each direction. The whatever goes to Camden, that's another pair of trains for most days. A local, I don't know what else, but so this is Greenwich. How do I spell that? Oh, it's Ollie Street. There you go. I honestly think that most of the blockages is that it's one of those things that if there was money, I think that the state that there's a lot of hurdles, and blaming NS is a very, very, very easy thing to do when state government of Pennsylvania doesn't want to fund it. SEPTA actually is SEPTA management, being from Philadelphia Transit Company, is really transit focused. I've taken a tour at 123 Market Street and had the vice president of communications actively bashing the regional rail division as a waste of money. He was a way more like, it's like basically like the Broad Street line serves more people than the entire RRD. Like it's a money suck, even though it's necessary to get the funding from the 5 counties. There's the old Ollie Tower. I'm betting that that CTC console is still up there. Well, I don't know. That's what it looked like in 15 years ago. But I'm pretty sure that it would still be up there. I don't know. I maybe if I can get down and walk around that area. The fence is still intact, though. It looks pretty intact. Well, you can get in there. Yeah, we'll see. I think that's a crew base. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'll poke around there some Sunday. Don't know why I took this, but I got someone's plush stuck in the barbed wire. Conrail loved its concertina wire. NS, there was something going on there. So yeah, I'm going to zoom in on this better. I'm just going to cut out a bunch of this fence. I don't know if that running track is north-south. It's probably still east-west, but I'm just going to label this northbound. Oh, yeah, of course it's east-west. That's what the signals are. It's going to be eastbound. Wait, no, it's westbound. See, it's on a Y. That's the problem. Another major problem you get in the Reading area is the mileposts. They are absolutely incomprehensible because of Y tracks, alternate routes, this thing. So you have the old line that went through the city, then you have the belt line, then you have the old line of the Blandon low grade, which is now abandoned. But everything has a different milepost, and it is really hard to keep it all straight. So this one is milepost. That is an accurate milepost from Philadelphia, though, but it's got an FR prefix. So I'd hate to, it's more of a problem for the crews. But if you're ever having to do dead reckoning of where something is, you need to give it a milepost on your file name. You can lose track of where you are, where the mileposts change. Here's where the old outer station used to be. Again, now it's a public works depot. I don't know why, something about, high summer sun makes a lot of digital camera sensors just go blue. It doesn't look like that when you're there. And yes, I'm not getting high-end equipment, so there. This just shows the Y, this getting split in the eastbound direction. Okay, I made my way back to center. So this was very heartening. At least when I got there, NS had just done a spray job on the signals here. All right, let's see. Should I do? Can I do with an across? Just. See a lot of blue. I should probably maybe just try a good old color balance. Nope. So moving back to my diagram, I know center's on page 27. Or was it 44? No, I think it was 27. That would be... See, this is giving it all in the... the original lever numbers. The L and R's. So, since they're in the same thing, these would be R's. So that's 54R. And there's the old... and I know that I'm not afraid to use the old R's and L's because that's the original CTC sort of control station in the prefabricated concrete paneled hut there. Yeah, see, there I am. Doing the right thing. I'll just try toning down the blue a bit. Again, here's the center, the quote-unquote, the interlocking, the instrument relay station for center interlocking here. With a Conrail Concertina Special. It's one thing Conrail knew how to do. It was, operate in a 1980s urban hellscape. Yeah, it's going to be way too big. Forgot to dial that back. Whoa, still too big. How big was the original file size? I don't know. Okay, that's within reason. Yeah, this I should have. Then we have a nice close up through the fence. Unfortunately, the NS silver spray paint crew kind of painted over the sign, but it's still there. And the center is interlocking in the trench underneath. Yeah, center's right down there, by the way. Center used to extend all the way, right from there to there. And NS came in and they chopped. You can see that they chopped the second track. So I think the other signal. Where is the other signal? Is it that? Is the interlocking still that long? Oh yeah, it's still. They actually made it longer. They don't like... it was to avoid, again, having turnouts on a curve. They hate that. But there's the old center. And all the... oh, look at that. The old relay hut's still there. Well, but it looks like the cruiser... No, that's in service. So I got to actually go back there. I should definitely go back there and check out. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there you got to check out. I'm actually driving there on Saturday, but I'm booked to do other things, so we'll see what the deal is. That's the 5th Street Bridge and the Center Ave Bridge. Oh, North 6th Street Station, someone was calling it, yeah, that's Outer Station. Or at least the station formerly known as Outer Station. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to keep it like this. It's already well framed. Yeah, you can see the second switch there was on like a curve. And they just wanted to, they moved it out. It also let them reduce the number of tracks that are crossing. So here we have the dwarf. This is going to be the 54RS, or yeah. What the heck is... I also, again, appreciate the nice paint job on this. Oops. All right, coming down to our last round of stuff here. See if we have any questions on in the thing. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, maintenance people hate the signals switches on a curve in this country. I don't know about the UK, but in the UK it's all about a make work project anyway. Yeah, no, Amtrak has B&P tunnel replacement projects, like going way back. So yeah, I've seen the one they want to do. So anyway, just there's gonna be a couple more pictures of this dwarf. It's nicely painted though. This is all replaced by all masts I can see in the overhead. You know, even an improperly prepared paint job looks good for at least a little bit. You know, no way they properly sanded that signal down to get the paint to last decades. That was there to that'll start painting again and appealing in about a year or two. It was funny. I remember when the Republican convention of 2000 was in Philly. SEPTA did a spray job in like all the Broad Street line stations to make it look nice, and then over the years that I was you know, I continued to ride, it like that paint rapidly deteriorated. So this always prevents a question. When you're trying to do your alignment, do you align to the subject, the signal, or the track? I'm just going to align to the signal. I don't care about the track. There we go. This is pretty standard Conrail interlocking stuff. Again, there's your Public Works Department and the Y track, and you know, this is where again this was a major rail junction in the up through the 1950s and 60s. But as I've been told, Reading Outer Station was really used for people transferring. It had regular folks there, but it wasn't really in the super central business district. I don't know. I just heard that there was a segregate, like the commuters used Franklin Street. My friend is actually from the Reading area. He's all getting close to retirement. He was always telling me the wonderful stories about. He grew up right as the Reading, right in the post-Reading era, and the Reading Museum. It's been around for a while. That they and excuse me if you heard this story. I forget which one, how many times I've told it. They were able to basically take over. There was part of a thing where they used the old Reading shops for storage, because there was basically a pipe warehouse in there, and they eventually, even though it had no power, they eventually started just doing full-on maintenance of all their collected equipment, and they would have people who worked at the Reading shops coming in to do work. Like there would be a broken brake assembly, they'd put it on a desk, and the guy who, the retiree who lived in the neighborhood would just show up and fix it. They got the overhead crane working. They would power it from off the diesel one of the generators in one of the locomotives. It went on for a good 3 years, he said, until someone doing an insurance inspection noticed that the space listed as storage seemed to be an actual full-blown industrial operation, and then they got kicked out at that point. But it sounded like a ridiculous amount of fun for someone who was younger just to go and be able to hang out there. He knew the whole history of all the stuff back in the as the Conrail thing was sort of going down. He mentioned how the Reading was going to get picked up by the Chessie system, and the PRR line would go to Conrail, and that would be the competition. You'd have Reading be Chessie, and all the other like PRR stuff would be PRR would go to Conrail. So you'd have both a CSX, or what would become CSX, and a Conrail presence in the Reading area, in that whole region. But Chessie pulled out, and then there was this giant scramble as, the PRR infrastructure was drastically abandoned. Here we are at Reading and Northern. This is back in 2006, was their one power operated switch. I actually was just there, and I had a naming convention for that. So let me just go pull that up real quick. Yeah, there it is. So here's that same switch today. It's not interlocked yet. It's still it's power operated, but it's not interlocked. So, by the way, one neat thing compared to now is that this is an old school M23 USNS M23 switch. You can tell because of the motor housing. Second. On the new ones, the motor housing is a very sharp sheet metal box. The original ones, the OG ones, it's this cast rounded housing right there. So in 2006, they had an OG M23. And then today, they've got this brand new one. I have plans to, at least it's not a fake M23. Oh, come on, what am I doing here? Oh, save it. Okay, there we go. Here's their PN Tower or Port Clinton. It used to have the PN things, but now it has Port Clinton on it. It's probably just listed as PN in this. I've been calling it Port Clinton, but in newer photos. Oops. I'll figure that one out later. I'm almost done. I'm too close to being done to delay you fine folks now. Again, same old railfan friendly Port Clinton yard. Probably most of these things are still in service. I know the SD50s just got repainted in that fast freight screen. I'm going to be there on Saturday. CNJ number 113 is getting fired up, and I've got a ticket on an open gondola car. If anyone's going to be out there, let me know. RBMN 801 800 5049. Those 800s are still there. I saw one just last year when I was out in Port Clinton. I mean, I'm sure all you folks know your Reading Blue Mountain, Reading and Northern rosters like up and down. Yeah, they're still there. It's like it's in the exact same spot. Oh, there's one of the new MPs. Hold on. No, it's traded places, but it's pretty much in the exact same spot. Just a whole bunch of years later. $801. Yeah, whatever. I'm not here to look at the new stuff. Uh, 1548. That's been renumbered. That's been redone in the more modern Reading scheme, and then 5014. I think I probably saw 5014 when I was out and about before. They only live in a very limited number of places, and you can probably hit most of them on a day's outing. RBMN. $5014 and $1548. Back in the 90s, like you said, you'd go up there and the T1 would just be in random locations. Here's one of their rescued Reading signal bridges and a milepost. And I'm pretty sure that, again, I have a name on that. There it is. And the milepost is still there, and I didn't notice it. In fact, I should... Now I'll just save it as a Port Clinton yard photo. Oops. Yeah, not much no. Yeah, not much I can really do with this. So hopefully I can get up there okay tomorrow. No, I mean Saturday. I keep forgetting that I got a whole day to do stuff tomorrow. Given the part of Pennsylvania in the crowd, hopefully there won't be too much racism on display when I'm doing this trip. That's the last thing I need to deal with. I mean, it's not really my problem, but still doesn't make me feel good. RBMN 5014 plus 1548. Cool, we are done. Yay. Alright, so tomorrow, definitely be another thing. Hopefully I'll be able to get through it in one piece without my router dying. Slightly shorter than today. So tomorrow it's just going to be additional Port Clinton, Lofty Tunnel, Tamaqua Tunnel, Tamaqua itself, Bird Tower. So I'll see if I'll try to get that scheduled. We'll be at the same time, maybe earlier. So because I need to get to bed at that time. So let me see if there are any questions here. Don't see any questions. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the router hiccup. Hopefully I can make this work better. So hopefully I can make it work okay in the live stream archive. Probably just gonna have to do whatever here. All right. Well, it was good in some regards. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. And I said check in tomorrow. Probably to do it at 10. I'm gonna bail out, and all of you have a wonderful day.